going on, everybody? Here's another episode of EDT. I'm gonna do a little tech rant where I just talk about a bunch of stuff. It's not scripted, so bear with me if I'm all over the place. You know how I do. Now let's get into this. I just watched Apple's event, and I have a couple of thoughts, most of which are good, some of which are a little, I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical on some things, but for the most part, I'm impressed. Now, before we get into this, I'm gonna need you guys to drop a like, and you hit that comment section. Tell me what you think about the event. I'm gonna need you to, subscribe, all that good stuff, yada, yada, yada. You know how we do. All right, so first off, let's talk about how they began. I was not a big fan of the intro. They, for one, didn't use Jonathan Morrison for the intro, which would have been perfect. The way they did it, it was like such a missed opportunity, but whatever. We can all speculate why they didn't. Hey, whatever. Now, their first announcement was strange. It's called the Voice Plan, and it's $5. You get Apple Music and apparently Siri controls to play playlists and stuff like that. I thought they had. I don't know what Apple was missing that they included in this. It seems very weird. Even if it's new, I don't trust Siri to do anything. Like, it tend to be pretty bad. So I don't see how they're gonna get people to buy it. Probably with the price, because you do get Apple Music for like $5, I guess. So maybe that's the incentive. For me, it was I didn't like that part of the announcement. The second part was just okay. They actually announced brand new HomePod Mini colors. It wasn't any new features, wasn't a new design, just colors. Pretty nice colors. They stand out. I don't know how they'll fit in people's actual homes, but they look nice. I could see it more in like some teenagers or people who may have a flamboyant styles. But for the average person, it looks a little weird, but they are nice looking. I don't have anything negative to say about that, because the better options we have, the more options and the more colors, hey, it's a good thing. It's just weird to put them in this event because it was a very small upgrade to bring out. But once again, I'm not complaining. I like colors. Now, the first announcement that I was actually impressed with were the brand new AirPods. So I'm not a big AirPod user. I've tried them out, but I'm more of an Android guy, so I tend to use the Google Pixel Buds. But I know that without the AirPods, we wouldn't have this wide range of amazing Bluetooth headphones that we have today. The cool thing about this one is now it resembles the AirPod Pros, which, hey, cool. Everyone can feel like they're up to date and everyone can feel like they're fancy. Not only do they resemble the Pros, but they're supposed to fit in your ear better and have this like personalized sound so that you hear things the way they're supposed to be sound. I guess it's based off of the shape of your ears because everyone's a little different. I don't recall them going too deep into how it works, but hey, awesome. I'm pretty sure I saw that tech in like either Google or Samsung, and I think it worked pretty well, so Apple could probably nail it. I have faith in them that it's going to be great. I like the fast charging and the longer battery life because that was a downside to the original AirPods. A lot of people don't like how the battery life was. I think they get 6 hours now before you pop them in the case. So hey, even better. Fast charging is great because like when I'm going to the gym, I like to charge my Bluetooth headset. If a 5 to 10 minute drive can give me about an hour or two of juice, perfect. Hey, fitness note, guys, you don't need to be in the gym for more than 2 hours. So having that 15-minute drive give you about an hour or two, perfect. Another cool thing is they're not going to be too expensive. They're at $180. For me, I think that's a great price, because of the quality of Apple AirPods. You're going to get a great product one way or the other. The case is smaller, it looks nicer, it looks more modern. Everyone's going to be, having the new shorter stems. So, hey, $180 for entry-level AirPods, I think that's a good price. I think it's a solid value. Now, this was a big announcement. And I'm going to be a little bit all over the place when it comes to this because I was not able to write down my notes as fast as I wanted to. They announced the brand new M1 chips. Now, notice I said chips, not just the M1X chip. They have the M1 Pro and the M1 Max, which I gotta say makes better sense from a marketing standpoint. M1X isn't going to mean much to the average consumer, but Pro and Max, especially with the name scheme that Apple already has, that's going to stand out to a lot of guys who don't know exactly what the differences are. There are a few differences with these two. And I'm going to try to get into that as best as I can with the limited notes I have. Now, first thing first, we're going to keep it simple. The Pro in itself is going to be much better than the regular M1. You're going to have about 2 times faster graphical performance. It actually has ProRes acceleration, which is going to be fantastic because I think they said you can do 8K 60 frames even faster than ever, which, yeah, most people don't shoot in that high resolution. So that means when you go down to the 4K or whatever, it's going to be amazing. You're going to be able to render it quick. You're going to be able to scrub through and edit and adjust things without having to worry about any type of slowdown. This too is supposed to be very power efficient, so your fans aren't going to be kicking off, your laptop's not going to be super hot. It's supposed to be a big change in performance and efficiency, which is something the original M1 was already amazing at. Now we're going to get it on higher tier specs. The Max, as if the Pro wasn't already increasing its power, the Max is going to double up on that, essentially. Whatever good thing about the Pro, the Max is going to just be amazing. It's going to be great. They said something like it has 5.7 billion transistors, which sounds great. We don't know what that means. At least the average person, the everyday person, what does that mean? Big number, good. And at the end of the day, big number is good. So, whatever. It's supposed to be like 7 times faster, so you're not going to run into any slowdown. If you're editing a video, doing After Effects, doing 3D rendering, coding, hey, whatever you throw at this computer, it's going to just eat up and spit out like it's nobody's business. I'm excited for that. And I'm excited for that as a Windows user because just like when the M1 came out, Intel and AMD stepped up. And just like I said before, the Intel and AMD chips are grossly underrated, especially by the tech community, because they're so excited for the M1 chips that they kind of act like the Intel ones aren't good. They're great. Don't worry about it. But with this new M1 Pro and M1 Max, we're going to see a bigger jump in competition because they, once again, just leapfrogged the competition. And when that happens, we, the consumers, we, the everyday people, win because everyone's trying to be better than each other. And it's great for us. I wasn't a fan of all the graphs that Apple showed, especially because they were purposely vague. So they would say something like, oh, it's 7 times faster than the i7. Well, which i7? We're on the 11th gen. Are you talking about the 11th gen? Are you talking about the 10th gen? Are you talking about the 8th gen or the 7th gen? They didn't specify, and that's how they make these numbers, seem amazing. At the end of the day, I think the M1 Pro and Max will be outstanding and be better than the Intels and the AMDs that are out right now. But I don't think it's going to be as much of an improvement as they're like to make us seem to be. I think a lot of those improvements are going to come in the brand new MacBooks, which they also announced because those MacBooks have some great specifications. Let's jump in to the stuff I didn't like. And it's really only one thing. It has a notch. I don't know how I feel about that. Change is weird. So the notch, honestly speaking, it doesn't look awful, but it don't look good. That's how I feel. I think when it comes to actual usage, it's not going to get in the way, just like the notch doesn't really get in the way of an iPhone. Just like the iPhone, they moved that status bar up into where the notch is, so the places that you interact with are not being taken up by the notch. How it's going to look when you're watching movies, I have yet to see. I'm thinking they're going to just black bar it and make it look like just one screen. That would be the better option, honestly. Cool. Now to all the things I really, really like. Okay, where do I start? This is where I'm going to ramble because I love screens. I love nice, bright screens. We now have a Pro XDR mini LED screen. Dude, that's going to look amazing. It has 1000 nit brightness and it peaks at 1600 nits brightness. Dude, you are going to be able to watch whatever you want or edit or do whatever you want in like the Florida sun with the sun beaming on you, and you're going to see perfectly fine. Nothing's going to be glary. It's going to be bright. It's going to be amazing. I don't know what other laptop has that amount of brightness. That's kind of ridiculous. I can't wait to see that in person. I am a brightness snob. The brighter the screen, the better. I can't wait. It's also going to have ProMotion 120 hertz on this screen. Now, we just saw that with the Microsoft Surface, and it looks great. I want to see how Apple does it. The only thing I don't like about it on the Apple is because it's not a touchscreen. I feel like when you touch a 120 hertz screen, it feels more, but you're more interacting with it, so you can feel it a lot better because you're literally scrolling. Now, it's a MacBook, it's not touchscreen. Cool. I guess we're gonna have to feel it with the scroll wheel. That's a bummer. But it's still gonna be great to have that option on these brand new laptops. They also got rid of that touch bar that no one used and has physical function keys. Their keyboard looks better. It looks nice. I want to feel it. I feel like it's gonna be pretty tactile and have a nice field of travel. So I want to get my hands on one because they could talk about how great a keyboard is all day. Everyone's feel is different. So before you buy, maybe go to the store and try one out to see if it fits how you like a keyboard to feel. For me, I'm excited. I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to have a somewhat mechanical feel to it when it comes to the travel and not necessarily clickiness, but just the feedback you get. Because Apple makes great keyboards. There we go. Now, other parts about this laptop I'm very excited for. For one, the size. You now have a 16-inch version and a 14-inch version. That 14-inch version is great. I love a 14-inch laptop because I throw them in my book bag and I carry them around with me wherever I go. So having something with that power and that ability in a 14-inch chassis is going to be amazing. I think you're going to see a lot more people start gravitating towards that. 16 inches is pretty big. Granted, the way we do screens and bezels now, you're basically going to have a 15-inch, it's going to be the same size of a 15-inch computer. But that 14-inch is such a beautiful size. And the MacBooks don't have the 10 key anyway, so you're not really losing anything besides screen real estate. That's fine. I'll deal with that. I'll scroll a little extra. I don't care. It's going to look good. If I were to get a MacBook, it would be the 14-inch one. I'm not getting a MacBook. I'm broke, and I'm way too invested in Windows because I also game. What can you do? Apple also brought back their I/O. Yeah, they made it sound like they gave us new stuff. No. It's just stuff that they took away. So you now have an HDMI port. You have, I believe, up to 3 Thunderbolt 4 USB-C ports and an SD card slot. For the creator, those are amazing because you connect up to like 4 monitors, 4K and whatnot. You can have your peripherals all plugged in at the same time without having a hub or a little dock. The less stuff I got to carry with a laptop, the better. So that's awesome. I love it. I/O is super important to not just the everyday laptop consumer, but especially creators. They're the ones who have the most accessories that they're going to need to connect to the laptop. You have some big fans in this brand new design. You're going to have big fans that probably won't need to be turned on because of the power efficiency. They say you're going to have amazing battery life, which usually I'm skeptical of. I'm still a little skeptical of, but Apple nailed it last year. So they already have a good track record with it. You know what I mean? So I have faith in them that they can knock out this battery, even though these new chips are going to be so amazing. Also, the price, yes, expensive, but not so bad. I believe the 14-inch version starts at $1,999, and the 16-inch starts at $2,499.99. Yay. Yeah, expensive, but not bad. Honestly, compared to some of the super high-end laptops, good price because these guys have like 64 gigs of RAM, I believe, and even the GPUs inside them have like 32 to 64 gigs of RAM. Like, that's crazy. That's ridiculous. That's pro level. So I don't have all the technical stuff because the average consumer probably doesn't care about that, and I didn't get to take as many notes as I wanted to because I can't write that fast and actually have it be legible. But just from my initial views, I think these guys are going to be a game changer. They are going to force the competition to step it up. I expect to see Surface have their own M1 style chip within a year or two. And Intel and AMD, they're going to start pumping out these chips. I already have interest in the new 12th gen chips coming out, but I want to see how that compares to the newly announced M1 Pros and M1 Max. I don't think Intel or AMD was ready for this, and I want to see how the competition looks a year from now. So that's what I'm more excited for because I don't really buy Mac products too much. I thought about it, and I might in the future because of video editing and creation and all that. I think it'll be a great computer. Actually, with my first desktop was a Mac, but that's neither here nor there. Um, so I want to see what happens. Let me know what you guys are excited for. Let me know if you guys are picking one up, because if you pre-order now, you can get it next week. That's really good. There's no waiting another month. Just wanted to get my views real fast. I wanted to rant to you guys. I'm all over the place, I know, but hey, it's what I do best. So drop some comments, hit like, share this video, whatever you want to do. Just let me know what you think. And once again, thanks for listening to me rant. It's Everyday Tech signing off. Peace.